We both paid for those papers, okay? She said that she did it because she wanted to feel empowered. She wanted to feel empowered. Like, oh my God, I pay for his green card. No. We paid together, okay? Because I paid the money back.
That is the mother of the woman, on camera, on basic cable, accusing her daughter's husband of coming to America to harvest the dollar, like he is a farmer, and the dollar is a crop, and her daughter, Chantel, is the irrigation system.
I have been doing and living for has been for Pedro and our marriage. I've been blindsided, and the rug has been ripped out from under me more than once.
And that is the daughter. 6 years later, screaming the exact same accusation in slightly different language. Because the thing you have to understand about the Everetts is that they are not four people. They are one organism with four mouths. And every mouth is saying the same word, visa. Every mouth. For 6 years.
She worked 3 days. I no problem with that, but she got a lot of time off, you know what I mean? I just want for Chantel to be more productive with her downtime. 3 days that you work, what you make for dinner?
Nothing.
Wow, I got
Chantel, Everett, Georgia, Atlanta suburbs, nursing student, meets Pedro Jimeno in the Dominican Republic on a study abroad trip, because of course she does. This is season 4 of the franchise, 2016. She brings him home. He meets her parents, Karen and Thomas. And from the first dinner, the very first plate of food, Karen is already running the playbook. The playbook is called Assume Guilt, Investigate.
I'm here to make my relationship with your mom
telling my
better.
mom that I not been doing anything in the house, that I never have spent time with you.
You don't.
That my, okay, and then what, and that's why you say those things like
You
that?
talked to
Tapers. He wants the papers. This is a woman who has known Pedro for approximately 2 hours, and she has already assigned him a plot in her head, in which he is a green card trafficker and her daughter is the cargo. And the magnificent thing, the genuinely cinematic thing, is that she turns out to be half right. And so does he. And the show is the other half.
I mean, I'm not saying that you need to hurry up and talk to Nicole, but there's something about what happened in the DR when you were there that is affecting you now.
Here is the Everett family's first crime, the one Reddit still underrates. Chantel hid the engagement from her parents for 2 years. 2 years. She let Pedro fly to Atlanta thinking the in-laws knew, while Karen and Thomas still thought their daughter was dating a nice Dominican boy named Pedro, not marrying one. She used her own fiancé as a diplomatic incident and then acted shocked when the diplomats got hostile.
Bought a house.
We bought a house.
The wedding, when it finally happens, is staged on American soil, in front of a family who found out about the engagement 3 weeks earlier. Pedro is smiling. Karen is sitting with her arms crossed like a woman attending a deposition. Thomas is the quietest man ever committed to reality television, the Everett dad, who communicates exclusively through disappointed sighs and the occasional eye tilt. Thomas is the audience surrogate, and Thomas is tired.
A race and figure it out.
I know there's gonna be a fight waiting for me at home. Sometimes I prefer Chantel go to sleep, for real. Like, sometimes I say, let me wait a little time to chill, go to sleep. I prefer...
That is Pedro's sister, Nicole, using a word that I, as a cable television narrator, am not putting in the script. Directed at Chantel's brother, River, at a family dinner, which has by this point turned into a full-contact family dinner with chairs involved. And the reason that single word detonated 5 seasons of television is not that it was out of nowhere, It is that Nicole was diagnosing something the Everetts had been doing for 2 seasons, which
River and Winter and my parents can sense the tension when Pedro and I start going at it because it's pretty obvious that we're, having an argument about.
the Everett children are a cartel. Chantel is at the top because she is the one with the husband, which in this family is the position of leverage. Winter, the sister, playing weaponized best friend. Whichever way Chantel is mad, Winter is extra mad, performing outrage as a form of loyalty. And River, the brother, who TLC marketed for 3 seasons as the gym bro comic relief, is in reality the muscle. River is the one who shows up when there is a family dinner and a family brawl is about to become a regular brawl. River is...
Since we toured to the DR, me and my mom, we start to speaking again, but things are strange. And I haven't spoken to Nicole since I got back to Atlanta.
Me estás poniendo a decidir entre una familia.
And across the aisle, you have Pedro's mother, Lidia, and his sister, Nicole, doing the exact same thing in Spanish from Santiago in a house Chantel is eventually paying for. 2 families, same playbook. Each one convinced the other one is running the long con, and each one correct about the other one and incorrect about themselves. This is not a reality show. This is La Cosa Nostra, dubbed.
Anytime I think about my sister, I think only bad talk about her. She tried to, curse me out, say a lot of bad things to me. That was my biggest problem, how your sister wishes bad thing to you. I need more time.
And here is the symmetry nobody on Reddit wants to sit with. Lidia is Karen in Spanish. Lidia is also the mother who doesn't trust the in-laws, also the mother who is running the phone tree, also the mother who believes her child is being systematically drained by the other family. The 2 matriarchs mirror each other so precisely that if you muted the show and subtitled it backwards, you could not tell them apart. 2 women, 2 languages, 1 single unshakable belief: my child is being robbed. Both women are wrong. Both women are right. Both women...
Phone.
No.
Winter,
But
you are a queen.
I know.
You don't want to scrub.
Winter's job in the cartel is to be Chantel's emotional echo chamber. Whatever Chantel feels, Winter feels it louder. Pedro hurts Chantel's feelings. Winter is the one crying on the phone. Pedro gets a job. Winter is the one who finds something wrong with the job. Winter has never had a feeling about Pedro that was not imported from her sister, and she will defend that feeling to the grave.
My hair is gone.
Yeah, no, your hair is gone.
Oh my gosh.
Why did you do this?
River, what?
And River. River is the funniest piece on the board because River is being marketed as the comic relief while quietly playing linebacker. River is a guy with a shaved head and a gym membership whose single job, across every Everett dinner, is to position himself between Pedro and anyone else named Jimeno. River doesn't talk much. River doesn't need to. River is the family's physical presence. Chantel is the argument. River is the exclamation point. The pivot is this. For 5 seasons, the longest-running 90DF spinoff on the entire network, we watched the Everetts try to dismantle Pedro's family, and we watched Pedro's family try to dismantle the Everetts. And the entire time, we thought the show was a marriage. It was not a marriage. It was a hostage negotiation filmed in horizontal with intermittent scenes of kissing and a craft services budget.
To court docs obtained by ET, Pedro filed for divorce back in May. But those weren't the only papers served. We've learned a mutual restraining order was filed the same day.
Pedro.
Wow.
May 2022, Pedro files for divorce. The same day, both spouses file mutual restraining orders against each other. which is the legal equivalent of two boxers at a weigh-in punching each other simultaneously and calling it a draw. No franchise couple in history has ever been less coordinated about their own collapse. They had a better divorce rollout than most couples have a...
You take $5,000
You
out,
take
I
it.
don't know where it
You
went.
take.
You get a whole new apartment and...
You take all the money out.
Yeah, no, you. I am just and I am...
And then Chantel Everett, registered nurse, church-going Atlanta good girl, withdraws over $100,000 from their joint account. And this, to me, is the Thesis compressing moment. Because a $100,000 withdrawal is not a romantic gesture. It is a military operation. It is the kind of thing a person does when they have been trained for 28 years by a mother who once told national television that her son-in-law was here to harvest the American dollar. Karen did not teach Chantel to love Pedro. Karen taught Chantel to audit him.
The moment he moves out of the house, I feel like it'll be over.
Pedro, a licensed realtor, I repeat, a licensed realtor, asks to list their shared marital home. Chantel refuses. She brings in someone else. And Pedro, who is on camera, who is also a real estate agent by profession, watches his wife hire a competitor to sell his own house out from under him. In the industry, this is what we call a message. In the Everett family, this is what we call Tuesday.
For a moment, after that she get angry, or she get angry, she cry for a moment, like, I don't know, like, is she tried to be, manipulating me or whatever, but, like, I don't want to fall for that.
Meanwhile, Pedro starts spending time with Sophie Sierra. Yes, that Sophie Sierra from the later season. 290 DF alumni rendezvousing like franchise-ranked veterans at a Las Vegas convention. The franchise is now eating itself. The cast is interbreeding. And somewhere in a production office in Silver Spring, an executive is circling the name Karen on a whiteboard and drawing a dollar sign, because Karen is now the most bankable human in her own daughter's marriage. And here's the thing about the $100,000. It is not just the amount, it is the timing. She did it while Pedro was, on paper, her husband. She did it while Pedro was, on paper, a cosigner. She did it while Pedro, in his own head, was still assuming American marriage law would treat him like an American. And Pedro, to his credit, came from a country where $100,000 is not an abstraction, is not a talking point, it is a house. It is 12 houses. It is a generational reset. Pedro watched his wife transfer 12 houses out of their joint account in a single business week, the same week he filed for divorce. And I want you to sit with the calculation that produced that.
She's not here, but when earlier this morning, I know she wasn't feeling well. And I know Karen is not here.
Okay, they're together. I tried to call her yesterday, she's not in the phone, and
That look, that delivery, that is the look of a woman who knows the cameras are on, has known the cameras are on for 6 years, and has been workshopping her facial expressions in the bathroom mirror since season 4. Karen Everett is not a mother. Karen Everett is a brand. And the brand is, I told you so, in stereo forever. The second pivot is this. We talk about Chantel and Pedro as if they were adults making adult choices in a bad marriage. They were not. They were two kids from two proud families who were used genuinely, materially, over 6 seasons as proxies in a parent versus parent war that neither of them ever had the standing to call off. Pedro's mother, Lidia, wanted Pedro back in Santiago. Chantel's mother, Karen, wanted Pedro out of Atlanta. Both mothers got what they wanted. The only people who lost were the two kids in the middle. And the cameras did great.
Cry with my tears, anything for you. I would have done anything for you, Pedro.
I know that you were raised to take the bank account because you have the set already. That saving account. When they
I have what?
You know.
And the person who benefited most from that war was Karen. Karen got a spinoff. Karen got brand deals. Karen got to become, at 60, a reality TV matriarch, a known quantity, the Harvest the American Dollar lady. The mother who lost her daughter's marriage won her own career, which is, if you zoom out far enough, exactly the deal she was willing to make from dinner one. Karen did not lose a son-in-law. Karen gained
Marriage scam?
Let me tell you something, sir. If you believe there was a marriage scam, I came got my citizenship 3 years ago. My lawyer told me that.
Thomas, God bless him, is the one Everett who never quite got with the program. Thomas, across 6 seasons, looked at all times like a man who had been told his flight was delayed and no one would give him a reason. Thomas did not want a spinoff. Thomas wanted his daughter to be happy and his wife to be quieter and the camera crew to please stop filming his dinner. Thomas is the only moral character on this show, and the show rewarded him by giving him almost no screen time. To be fair, and here is the walk back, because at 10 minutes in, any roast that doesn't acknowledge the human beings inside the edit is not criticism, it's a Yelp review. Chantel is, by all accounts, a working nurse with a pulse on a real life outside the edit. In December 2025, she got engaged again to a woman named Ashley Bowen at a Renaissance castle. That is a sentence I never expected to type, but which I respect immensely. Chantel is demonstrably capable of growing past the cartel. The cartel is still the cartel, but Chantel, at last, is off the payroll. And Pedro is dating Karen Malagon because apparently the universe has a sense of humor about first names, and Pedro, perhaps subconsciously, has his hype.
To take money from her. She take money from me. What the hell?
Here is what Reddit still gets wrong. Reddit spent 6 seasons choosing sides. Team Pedro, Team Chantel, Team the sister, Team the brother. Everyone picked a jersey and stayed in their seat. But the Everetts were never 4 people playing one game. They were one person, Karen, playing 4 pieces. And the game was, keep the camera on me, and she won. She is, right this minute, a more famous person than her daughter's ex-husband, a licensed realtor, will ever be. Chantel thought she was the protagonist of the Family Chantel. She was the pawn. The Family Chantel was never her show. It was Karen's. And Pedro was never her husband. He was Karen's opponent. And the marriage was never a marriage. It was a 6-season continuation of a dinner that started going badly in 2016 and never quite ended. The cruelest part, the part nobody in the fandom will say out loud, is that the Everetts got exactly the outcome they were openly rooting for in season 1. Karen said on national television in 2017 that Pedro was only here for the papers. Karen lived to see him get the papers and leave. Karen was right. Karen being right is the saddest thing that could have happened to this family, because Karen being right means Chantel's whole 20s were a court case Karen was prosecuting, and Chantel was the evidence. The daughter came home with a husband. The mother, if you made it this far, you either love me or you're looking for something to yell about in the comments. Either way, like, subscribe, and tell your sister.